Welcome to question 3 of the 2012 Mathematical Methods Exam 1. In this video we will be looking at the solution and examination advice for this question. A reminder that this video is in no way endorsed by VCAA. For question 3, the rule for the function h is h of x equals 2x cubed plus 1, and we're asked to find the rule for the inverse function. So for this question we're going to start by letting y equal the rule of h of x. So therefore we have y equals 2x cubed plus 1, and then we need to swap x and y to find the inverse. So therefore we have x is equal to 2y cubed plus 1, and then we need to solve for y. So to solve for y we can have y cubed to start with would be equal to x, and we'd subtract 1 and then divide all of that by 2. So therefore y by itself, and we'll now replace it with h negative 1 of x, is going to equal the cube root of x subtract 1 over 2. And the domain of the inverse is x is an element of all real numbers. So that is the answer to this question. From the examiner's report, we can see that it is important that students do not proceed directly from y equals x cubed plus 1 to x equals y cubed plus 1, as this is not considered correct working. Students needed to indicate that new working is starting, so they can do something like stating for the inverse, swap x and y, or as we did on the previous slide, swap x and y to find the inverse, but some indication needs to be written about what you are doing. A common error was to write h inverse of x equals 2y cubed plus 1, which is not correct. As h of x was a one-to-one function, there was no domain or range restrictions to consider, and it's important to note that the use of plus or minus was not appropriate here, because we weren't solving a quadratic equation with an x squared, we were solving a cubic equation, which means that you don't actually get plus or minus when you take the cube root of something.